Next question. Hey Merja, I'm an INFP. When I get triggered by my husband, I instantly go to my inner children, and I'm no longer being led by my grown-up parts. How can I strengthen the leadership of my inner parent in moments when my inner family is in chaos? This is a great question. And the reason why this is a great question is because this, yes, with other types too, but in particular with INFPs, when you harness the inner parent part of you, nothing will stop you. So INFPs have this incredible power where oftentimes the missing piece is the inner parenting and the harnessing of the inner parent part of you, so that you can then take those immensely deep and meaningful gifts and really bring them to the world. So I'm really excited that this question is here, that I'm really excited to start unraveling this one for you, or with you, more to the point. So our inner children often come to play because with our significant others, because they feel somewhat safe with the significant other, but they also know that the significant other is probably the one person in the world who can hurt them the most. So there's this push-pull dynamic where the inner children want to be known and present and loved by the significant other, but at the same time they tend to be, if they've ever been triggered by the significant other, which, if you're in a relationship long enough, it will happen. It's just a question of time. But once there's been a situation where the inner children have felt hard done by, or whatever, by the significant other, then they start to create this sense of caginess inside of them, where they try and kind of hold back the person who could possibly hurt them a lot. So if you've been in this relationship for quite some time, it's very normal that your inner children get really triggered by your husband when something happens, when something goes down in a way that doesn't feel right for you. So that's completely normal. How you can strengthen the leadership of your inner parent in these situations is remembering that your inner parent as an INFP is an intuitive part of you. So it is the outward facing intuition, which then means that it's looking for different options. It's looking for different possibilities. Oh, that's possible. That's possible. That's possible. That's possible. It can recognize different opportunities. It can recognize different realities that could be going on. And what's really important in those situations where you get triggered with your husband, to bring in the outward facing intuition and actually start asking questions of the husband. So instead of assuming, so the husband does something and you assuming the intent is bad, it's going to hurt you, take like an inquisitive role and start asking, hey, thank you for that. I was wondering if this is what you're meaning by what you're saying. Is this what you mean? Is that what you mean? Is that where you're coming from? Would you be able to tell me more about this? Or would you be willing to share more about that? And now it becomes like a conversational, exploratory, pioneering space. And of course, as an INFP, your inner parent, we call them the pioneer. So now you start pioneering this uncharted territory of newness, of actually not assuming that things are in a certain way, but discovering new depths and new usually amazing things about our partner that we haven't maybe been able to see before because of the triggering of the inner children. So that's how you can strengthen that leadership in those moments of chaos, is just catch yourself in it. That's step number one. Catch yourself being in chaos, that you recognize that your inner children are triggered. Number two, activate the inner parent part of you by saying, okay, what don't I already know about the situation? And start asking questions of the other person. And that will begin to create new kind of dynamics in your relationships. And over time, as your historian part of you, your 10-year-old inner child part of you, starts to come around and starts to feel like they're, the inner parent has the rope so that the historian doesn't have to try and domineer the information collecting, then the inner children will be able to relax and calm down, and you'll start to create that order out of the chaos that is currently. But you can't, that's the thing too, like, don't just think that chaos is bad, because out of chaos comes a new order. So you're in a process of creating a new order, and that's really exciting. So well done for recognizing what's going on and calling it what it is, and then asking for what you want. And as I was saying in the start of answering this particular question, the INFPs who harness the inner parent part of them, they truly are unstoppable. Because now, instead of trying to service what is, they will always be at the forefront, pioneering a way with new ways of doing things, better ways of doing things. They're always progressive. So, what an incredible capacity when you do harness the inner parent part of you. So thank you for asking this question. Let me know how you go with that. I'd love to hear what you're doing with that, harnessing that inner parent.